Chapter 720. You came all the way here. Do you think you have no way to deal with this? The immortal emperor coldly spoke. Please correct your position. Jiang Changkong said coolly. This emperor doesn't need a single move to kill you. The countenance of the limitless immortal emperor turned cold as a long sword appeared in his hand. Try it then. Grade 8 God Artifact? The immortal slaying sect is truly generous. In that case, this emperor will kindly accept it. Jiang Changkong said indifferently. The reincarnation disc floated behind him. Immortal slaying. With a cold shout, he used his ultimate move. Dazzling white light shone as he attempted to lock Jiang Changkong in place. An 8th grade immortal artifact longsword with the might of an immortal venerable was unfathomable. The extremely fast sword cut through the void, and no one could see its shadow. I'll use you as a test. 6 paths reincarnation. Jiang Changkong snorted coldly and did not move. The 6 paths of reincarnation disc released a sinister saintly might. The wheel of reincarnation activated its mighty power. It wasn't like before, when it could only suppress the void and release the wheel of reincarnation's power. The 6 daos converged like 6 worlds, forming the netherworld. 6 pitch-black whirlpools appeared and the charging limit immortal emperor's body froze. The 6 paths power tore apart his body and shook his soul. The limitless immortal emperor was sent flying at an even faster speed, tumbling down the ancient bridge. The 8th rank immortal sword became dim and fell onto the ancient bridge. Jiang Changkong picked it up and held it in his hand. The suppressive power of the cycle disc rendered this inferior grade 8 immortal equipment unable to resist at all. It was extremely obedient. Casually tossing it into a whirlpool, the remnant aura and imprint of an immortal venerate would also be erased. Looking at the peak stage immortal emperor tumbling down, Jiang Changkong spoke calmly. Immortal venerable, do you recognize the difference? I have no obligation to save people, nor do I know how to save people. You can ask an immortal venerable to try. Jiang Changkong really did not know how to save them. Even if he knew, it would not be easy to save them. The transformation of this place was really strange. He did not know if the immortal venerables could save people. Now it was better to take the things away first. The cycle disc released a wisp of dragon might. Space tore open, and a huge dragon claw grabbed Jiang Changkong and the wheel of reincarnation, dragging him in. The space returned to normal. The peak-level immortal emperor's expression was extremely cold, but he had no choice but to contact the immortal lord. In a world filled with dragon might, a gigantic immortal power divine dragon the size of a mountain looked down on him. Jiang Changkong looked at the divine dragon. Celestial Lord. To be able to create an immortal venerate divine dragon with immortal energy, the ancient dragon race's strength was unfathomable. Human. The celestial dragon shrunk and looked at him in confusion. Jiang Changkong sized up the area. It was very spacious. There were more than 10 instruments on the ground and thousands of huge pits. I'm also the acting dragon king of the Eastern Sea. Jiang Changkong cupped his fists and said, Are you the guardian divine dragon left behind by the dragon race? Sort of. The dragon god shook his head and brought him to the sky above the pit. Did you find the dragon egg? Dragon eggs. Jiang Changkong was taken aback as he looked at the pit. There used to be dragon eggs here? There are 1,000 dragon eggs here. They were taken away by a woman with a reincarnation disc. The dragon god was a little sad. With a hint of hope, he said, Did you see it? You have the aura of the reincarnation disc on you. It's that woman's aura. Jiang Changkong shook his head. I only got the reincarnation disc. I didn't see the dragon eggs. However, she took away the dragon eggs. She shouldn't have hurt them. 1,000 dragon eggs, if hatched, would be 1,000 true dragons. Why did Huda come here to take away the dragon eggs? Did she take the dragon eggs away? Did she take them away from this world, or did she hide them somewhere else? The dragon god fell down sorrowfully and stared at the pit of dragon eggs in a daze. His mission had been to protect these dragon eggs, but the dragon eggs had long since disappeared. "Can you tell me about Hutu? That woman?" Jiang Changkong asked. "Her name is Hutu?" The dragon god was a little confused. "Who is Hutu?" Jiang Changkong. This was probably a stupid dragon. Could it be that Hutu changed his memory? Jiang Changkong thought of the moon goddess. She had problems with her memory too. Can these instruments still be used? Jiang Changkong looked at the instruments. The ones used by the dragon clan should be at the immortal level. They weren't broken, right? The dragon god shook his head, indicating that he didn't know. Jiang Changkong was a little helpless. He didn't know how to use the instruments either. The dragon god turned to look at him. "You have the aura of the dragon clan on you. I am the acting dragon king. The dragon king sent me here." Jiang Changkong took out the dragon skin map. The dragon god glanced at it and dug at the side. Soon, he dug out a stone slab. "Here. Ancestral dragon scripture." Jiang Changkong was surprised. The stone slab recorded the complete version of the ancestral dragon scripture. There should be other treasures in the primordial dragon clan's treasury. "Are there any innate spirit stones here?" Jiang Changkong asked. "Some immortal stone powder and some." The dragon god pointed ahead and said, "You can take them out." "What about these instruments?" Jiang Changkong understood what he meant. "What can't be taken away? Other than the immortal stone powder and the ancestral dragon scripture, you can't take anything else." The dragon god shook his head. "The heavenly Tao doesn't allow these things." Jiang Changkong was a little disappointed. He wanted to take the instruments out and find someone who knew how to study them. The venerable Zhen Xian might know something about them. Jiang Changkong went to look at the immortal stone powder. There were 1,000,000 essence, qi, and spirit. He quickly put it away. When his essence, qi, and spirit reached 8,000,000, he could perfect his mystic art. Not in a hurry to improve, Jiang Changkong asked, "What's going on outside? Why did I come in?" He told the dragon about the container. The dragon god said calmly, "What that woman modified is the Hutu you mentioned. After eating that liquid, they will stay here forever. They can't leave. Once they walk out of the city, they will be crushed and resurrected in the container. They will be trapped here forever. They can't die unless everything here is destroyed." Jiang Changkong secretly rejoiced that he was not fooled by the container. It was looking for a guardian to guard this place. "I took away the treasure. What else is worth guarding here?" Jiang Changkong frowned. "Is there anything special here?" "Special?" The dragon god tilted his head and thought for a moment. "Yes, a map." "Map? Where? Is it the map of the ancient dragon clan's departure?" Jiang Changkong asked quickly. The dragon god paused and looked at him in confusion. "The dragon clan left? Where did they go?" Jiang Changkong. "Hutu, did you make a Shinran?" The mystical dragon dug out a map. On the map, it was a blurry and chaotic mess. Jiang Changkong's reincarnation heavenly eye moved. The chaos dissipated, and a divine mountain appeared on it. Mount Buzhou. Did it leave Mount Buzhou? Or was this another relic? How many things did the Hutu do? He could not go up Mount Buzhou. How many things are buried underground? Jiang Changkong could not help but dig. These things were dug out from underground. Was the dragon clan's treasure underground? The dragon god did not stop him and watched him dig. Soon, Jiang Changkong really dug out something. It was a gray bone that emitted dragon might. "This is..." Jiang Changkong was stunned. "Dragon bone. Buried by the Hutu," the dragon god said. Jiang Changkong frowned. "Buried by the Hutu?" This gray bone emitted the aura of chaos. Was it a dragon of chaos that was killed? Chapter 721. After digging out all the dragon bones, Jiang Changkong pieced them together. It was a chaotic dragon. Even though only the dragon bones were left, its aura was still extremely powerful. Jiang Chongkong discovered that there were immortal runes on the dragon bones. This is. Jiang Chongkong looked at the nervous dragon. The only reply he got was a shake of the head. The nervous dragon did not know what the immortal runes were, so Jiang Chongkong could only study them himself. In the vast chaos, the dragons are born. They travel through chaos and pursue the great Tao. The chaotic dragons hide and search for the tributary of time to pursue eternity. Jiang Chongkong had a strange expression. The immortal runes were from ancient times. They were either left by the dragons or Hutu. The tributary of the river of time flows. The chaotic dragon bone guides the immortals to pursue the mark of time. The dragons lead the way. The dragons are pursuing the tributary of time? Isn't the tributary of the river of time left by the ancient immortals? Jiang Chongkong was a little confused. He couldn't understand what was going on. Wasn't the tributary of the river of time left by the ancient immortals? Why were the ancient dragons pursuing it? Puzzled, Jiang Chongkong put away the chaotic dragon bone. He continued to look at the map. There was only one route to Mount Buzhou, and nothing else was marked. This dragon bone is not tolerated by the heavenly Tao, the nervous dragon reminded. I have the reincarnation disc to suppress it. It should be fine, Jiang Chongkong said in a low voice. If it was a complete heavenly Tao, it might be able to detect it, but it was incomplete now. He had the Supreme Sky Emperor's means to protect himself and the reincarnation disc. He should be able to barely hide it. Of course, he was just giving it a try. He could not guarantee that he would come back and take the device away if possible. If he could not hide it, he would go straight to the chaos. This was the only item to find the tributary of the river of time. The ancient immortal's route of departure should also be hidden in the tributary. The nervous dragon did not stop him and lay to the side. There's nothing underground. Jiang Chongkong nodded. I'll stay here for a while and then leave. Sorry for the trouble. Up to you. Remember to bring the ancestral dragon scripture to the Dragon King, the nervous dragon said. You don't plan to go out? Jiang Chongkong raised his eyebrows. This crazy dragon was an immortal venerable. Shenron rolled his eyes. You're such a stupid human. I'm just a condensation of immortal energy, not a real dragon. Jiang Chongkong. All right, you can continue to be crazy on the side, I'll level up first. Shenlong should only be able to exist in this space. At most, he could only go to the city, unable to leave. Jiang Chongkong raised his mystic technique and directly stepped into the peak of the Immortal Emperor stage. The heavenly Tao fragment fluctuated again, helping him accelerate his transformation. His mystic art had reached perfection, and his Hundun divine energy, green light, and innate divine runes were all condensed and strengthened to a whole new level. The essence of the law of primal chaos was also close to perfection. Jiang Chongkong tried his best to suppress the fluctuations of his divine power as his chaos divine power surged. His aura was faintly discernible, but Shenlong could still sense it. He looked at him in surprise. This power had completely surpassed the immortal emperor realm. In fact, it was comparable to an immortal reverend who had just broken through. If the wheel of samsara was included, the nervous dragon didn't dare to think about it anymore. Endless power continued to increase, condense, and compress. The mysterious law of primal chaos shrouded Jiang Chongkong, making him look like a piece of chaos. 2 hours later, Jiang Chongkong opened his eyes. Everything was restrained and he returned to normal. The divine power in his body had increased by more than 10 times. Ordinary peak immortal emperors would at most be able to deal with him with one finger. Jiang Chongkong. Peak immortal emperor, god emperor, 7 transformations mystic art, perfection, 1/32 million innate chaotic Tao body, Deshang 1/8 million golden crow immortal sutra, perfection, 4 million/4 million essence, spirit and energy, 35820. He stood up and the primal chaos was restrained. He looked at Shenlong and said, I'm leaving. Shenlong waved his hand and the space split open. Go! Jiang Chongkong entered the spatial crack and came back to the city. The peak immortal emperors had already left, and the two peak immortal emperors were still in a container, swallowing the liquid and pursuing perfection. A few of the containers were already broken. Jiang Chongkong went back the way he came, and the two peak immortal emperors did not stop him, and let him go. After leaving the city, Jiang Chongkong appeared on the ground. The heavenly Tao had already appeared in the sky. An extreme sense of danger came, and Jiang Chongkong hurriedly left the immortal slaying sect's territory and rushed into the primal chaos. As soon as he left, two figures appeared, and one of them was the peak immortal emperor from before. Sect leader, are you letting him go just like that? The peak immortal emperor had an ugly expression. The immortal slaying sect leader's expression changed slightly. I'll go and take a look. As an immortal venerable, although he was not a powerful one, he could tell that Jiang Chongkong had provoked the heavenly Tao. He was very curious. How could a heavenly god of justice, who was known to be impartial, offend the heavenly Tao? What did Jiang Chongkong obtain in that strange city? He had personally gone down there, but he had no way to save the two immortal emperors. He had wanted to wait for Jiang Chongkong to come out before letting them go. As Jiang Chongkong flew, he felt that the heavenly Tao had been watching him. Clearly, the heavenly Tao did not intend to let him go. The chaotic dragon bone had completely angered the heavenly Tao, even though he had the immortal position of justice. The greatest use of the Supreme Sky Emperor's methods was to hide one's cultivation level, not to hide treasures. Even an incomplete heavenly Tao is so vigilant. Jiang Chongkong felt helpless. Rumble! Bolts of golden lightning descended, sealing off the surroundings. Jiang Chongkong's expression changed slightly, and his chaotic divine power covered his body. Rumble! The golden lightning continued to descend, but it could not break through the divine power defense. Jiang Chongkong heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, although the heavenly Tao was powerful, its attack was not very strong. He hurriedly sped up and left. He did not want to wait for the heavenly Tao to accumulate power and let the lightning power reach the immortal venerable level. The heavenly Tao did not attack, but the clouds in the sky became darker and darker, and the pressure of the lightning became more and more terrifying. It was accumulating power. Jiang Chongkong's speed kept increasing, and he was about to leave Mount Buzhou. Cracks also appeared in the void. He heaved a sigh of relief. As long as he could tear open space, he could reach the chaos. He would be fine. If the heavenly Tao was perfected, even if he could tear open space, he might not be able to reach the chaos. The power of the heavenly Tao could also seal off heaven and earth, so that even immortal venerables could not break open space. Jiang Chongkong turned into a ray of light, entered the spatial crack, and entered the vast chaos. The immortal venerable of the immortal slaying sect hurriedly followed. Apart from him, there were also immortal emperors and immortal venerables who tore open space and entered the chaos. In the sky, the lightning slowly dissipated and the world returned to calm. The movement of the heavenly Tao had already alarmed all the immortal venerables in the heaven realm. These immortal venerables were curious about what had happened. Even if they did not go personally, they would send people to check what had happened. Immortal Venerable Zhen Xian personally chased into the chaos. He was a little puzzled. The opportunity had clearly arrived, so why did it turn out like this? Jiang Chongkong entered the chaos and sensed the experts chasing behind him. He was a little shocked. The heavenly Tao still could not find trouble with him, so he simply stopped and waited for the immortal venerables and immortal emperors to arrive. The reincarnation plate appeared, and Jiang Chongkong secretly activated his chaos divine power. If something went wrong, he would immediately take action. Fellow Taoist Jiang, why are you in such a hurry? Immortal Venerable Zhen Xian arrived with a smile, ahead of all the experts. Chapter 722. Venerable Zhen Xian. Jiang Chongkong bowed. Greetings, Venerable Zhen Xian. The Celestial Supremes and Celestial Emperors arrived and greeted him. They all had to give face to this ancient celestial supremacy. He was a true peak existence in the celestial world. Jiang Chongqing's expression darkened. May I know why you are chasing me? Alliance Master Jiang, I am the sect master of the Immortal Slaying Sect. You caused trouble in the Immortal Slaying Sect, and 2 peak celestial emperors of the Immortal Slaying Sect can't get away. Alliance Master Jiang, please be merciful and release the restriction to let them out. The sect master of the Immortal Slaying Sect was very polite. He had no choice but to be polite since Venerable Zhen Xian was here. Venerable Zhen Xian frowned slightly. Taoist Jiang, if possible, let them go. Jiang Chongqing shook his head. This has nothing to do with me. They wanted to follow me in and were imprisoned by the restrictions set by the ancient dragon race and sage Hudu. Only a sage can break it. This. Venerable Zhen Xian was slightly stunned and sighed. Celestial supremacy, I warned you before. Why didn't you listen to my advice? They sneaked in without me knowing. The sect master of the Immortal Slaying Sect frowned. Is there really no way to break it? The reincarnation disc? Unless a sage is alive, Jiang Chongqing said with certainty. What happened just now? Why did the heavenly Tao attack you? An celestial supremacy asked. It should be an instrument that I brought out. Jiang Chongqing thought for a while and said, that instrument has been destroyed by the chaotic qi. Really? The celestial supremacy didn't believe it. This was a device from the ancient era. It might contain important information. Would Jiang Chongqing allow the primal chaos to destroy it? If you don't believe me, there's nothing I can do, Jiang Chongqing said with a hint of helplessness. How can I keep something that the heavenly Tao doesn't tolerate? The celestial supremacy and celestial emperors only sneered and didn't say anything. Venerable Zhen Xian thought for a moment and said, according to the current rules, it belongs to whoever finds it, right? Even if Taoist Jiang doesn't take it out, there's no reason for you to take it away. The immortal sovereigns and immortal emperors were stunned. That's right, just like the primal chaos beasts from before. Why should they be handed over to them? Disperse, all of you. If you want to find fellow Jiang and get the device, you might as well contact her in private. Venerable Zhen Xian waved his hand. Farewell. An immortal emperor clasped his hands and turned to leave. The other immortal emperors looked at each other and turned to leave. The celestial venerables also left one after another. Although the sect master of the Immortal Slaying Sect didn't want to give up, he couldn't do anything with celestial venerable Zhen Xian standing in the way. Jiang Chongqing breathed a sigh of relief. He knew that they were giving face to venerable Zhen Xian. If it were him, these immortal sovereigns might not let the matter rest. Fellow Taoist, it shouldn't be a device, right? Venerable Zhen Xian smiled faintly. Jiang Chongqing was slightly moved. Why does Immortal Venerable say that? There are many instruments, the heavenly Tao will not be so angry. The Zhen Xian the Celestial stroked his beard and said with a smile, it should be something more serious. Jiang Chongqing sighed softly. I really can't hide it from Senior Celestial. It's a dragon's skeleton, the chaotic dragons. As he spoke, he took out the dragon bone. The immortal runes on it were not hidden. When the dragon bone appeared, it actually automatically formed a bone dragon under the guidance of the chaotic aura, wanting to leave. Venerable Zhen Xian's expression changed slightly. A green light suppressed the bone dragon. Is it going to chase after that tributary of the river of time? Does Senior Celestial intend to? Jiang Chongqing asked. Having a powerful immortal venerable following him was also a guarantee. He could still trust Venerable Zhen Xian. The other party had helped him a lot. Venerable Zhen Xian pondered for a while, suppressed the bone dragon, and returned it to him. This thing is suppressed in the chaos. With my strength, I can't go for the time being. Senior Celestial, you mean? Jiang Chongqing was a little surprised. Venerable Zhen Xian actually said that it was not safe. After leaving the heaven realm and entering the chaos, you and I will be like rootless duckweed. Moreover, the chaos is everywhere, and we may not be able to find our way back. Venerable Zhen Xian considered a lot. Senior Celestial, the heaven realm is chaotic, and the immortal spirits are hidden. I can't leave. It seems that I can only make a trip by myself, Jiang Changkong said. There's no hurry. Venerable Zhen Xian said indifferently, I will help you seal the dragon bone in the chaos first. When I make an item that can cross the chaos and contact the heaven realm, you can go. Senior Celestial actually has such a method? Jiang Changkong was surprised. Although he could still contact his secondary body in the chaos, that was because they were not far apart. If he went too deep or encountered any situation, it was very likely that the connection would be cut off. Just like the moon goddess and her main body, he could only sense that they were still alive. You should thank Patriarch Yang Mei back then. Venerable Zhen Xian smiled and said, This primordial chaos saint can travel through the chaos and understands it very well. Then I'll have to trouble you, Senior Celestial. Jiang Changkong bowed again. There's no need to be polite. I'm also very curious about what exactly is hidden in the tributary of the River of Time. Venerable Zhen Xian suppressed the Chaos Bone Dragon and took out a jade token and handed it to him. This jade token could sense the seal and unlock it. The two left the chaos together and returned to the heaven realm. After returning to his territory, Jiang Changkong came to the barrier of Mount Buzhou. He still couldn't enter. This barrier really didn't recognize people. Alliance Master, Immortal Emperor Di Ling of the Heavenly Court requests an audience. An immortal emperor came and said respectfully, Bring him to the temple, Jiang Changkong said lightly. They came really fast. I just returned and they ran over. Or they didn't leave at all? Just as he was about to go to the temple, another immortal emperor came. Alliance Master, Immortal Emperor Chu Hong of the Divine Court, Jie Tianshi of the Immortal Court, and Demon Master of the Demon Court request an audience. Bring them to the temple together. Jiang Changkong quickly walked to the temple. These four major forces were very active in the research of ancient immortals and God. Returning to the temple, the four immortal emperors, whether they were willing or not, all cupped their hands and said, Greetings, Alliance Master Jiang. Take a seat, Jiang Changkong said lightly. Alliance Master Jiang, I think you know why we are here. Chu Hong stood up and said bluntly, The instrument. Jiang Changkong frowned slightly. The instrument has been destroyed. I don't know what's inside. There can't only be one in the ancient dragon race's research site, Jie Tianshi said. Since they can bring one out, they can bring out a second or even a third. Jiang Changkong raised his eyebrows. Are you going to buy it? Alliance Master Jiang, you can think so, Immortal Emperor Di Ling said. This wasn't the time for them to settle their grudges. It's expensive to bring out the instrument. Jiang Changkong said calmly. Moreover, the contents of the instrument might not exist anymore. I can't be sure if the ancient dragon race destroyed it. We can verify this. As long as Alliance Master Jiang is willing to bring out the instrument and doesn't delete it, we'll accept it even if it's empty, Jie Tianshi said. Just send someone to prevent me from deleting it, Jiang Changkong said calmly. I won't use the instrument. We believe in Alliance Master Jiang, there's no need to send someone. Chu Hong smiled. The Divine Court is willing to pay 10,000 low-grade 7th-grade immortal stones. Chapter 723. Demon Master Kuan Yu said, The Demon Court is also willing to pay 10,000 low-grade immortal stones. The other two factions also spoke up. 10,000 low-grade immortal stones. You really look down on me. Jiang Changkong's expression turned cold. Or are you looking down on the ancient dragon race? Alliance Lord Jiang, no one can guarantee that the equipment inside is still working and the information is still complete. Chu Hong smiled. 10,000 is not a small amount. It's free for you. Jiang Chongkong only needed to go in and bring the equipment out to get 10,000 low-grade immortal stones. Even if the equipment was empty, they would still give him the immortal stones. Jiang Chongkong fell into deep thought. He wanted more. Xie Tianshi said, "It's a waste to leave that thing there. It's useless even if you take it." 10,000 for one. How many do you want? Jiang Chongkong said. Just one, Earth Spirit Immortal Emperor said. Jiang Chongkong, you only want one of a dozen equipment? Shouldn't you want all of them? One. Jiang Chongkong couldn't help but remind them, what information can one equipment have? Why don't you want a few more? The four immortal emperors shook their heads. Chu Hong said calmly, "We want it. We just want to verify some information. We've already studied the ancient immortal gods." Jiang Chongkong fell silent. The four factions had ruled the celestial world for countless years. They had opened a few hundred test fields in the mortal world. They really knew a lot about the ancient immortal gods. How about 20,000? Jiang Chongkong didn't want to give up. Chu Hong said firmly, "Not one more. That's what the celestial Dharch wants." The other three immortal emperors were the same. Jiang Chongkong said helplessly, "Fine, 10,000 it is. Tell the immortal slaying sect that I'll go there again. Goodbye." The four immortal emperors left at the same time. Jiang Chongkong sent a message to Zhen Xian to ask if he could unlock the equipment. "Taoist Jiang, I'm interested in the remaining equipment. I'll study it and share the information," Zhen Xian said. "Thank you," Jiang Chongkong said. "There's no need to stand on ceremony. I'm just curious. When you come out, I'll join forces with them to tear a hole in space near the immortal slaying sect. Then you can escape into the primal chaos." After a brief discussion, the two of them ended the call. Jiang Chongkong contacted the demon sovereign and passed the contents of the ancestral dragon scripture to him, so that he could deliver it to the Eastern Sea. The demon race's Aohai nation was still there, so it wasn't difficult to send something to the East Sea. The immortal slaying sect's side had also come to an agreement. Jiang Chongkong once again entered the immortal slaying sect's ruins. At the research site, Shun Long was stunned when he saw him, but he did not pay much attention to him. "I have passed the ancestral dragon scripture to the Dragon King," said Jiang Chongkong as he kept the instrument. Lying on the ground, Shenron raised his head. "Remember to find the dragon egg." "I will. I will protect the dragon race." After Jiang Chongkong finished speaking, he left with the equipment. After leaving the city, a huge spatial rift appeared in front of him. The heavenly Tao was furious again, but not as serious as before. Jiang Chongkong directly entered the spatial rift. There were 5 blurry figures there. Their auras were restrained, and he couldn't tell how strong they were. One of them was Venerable Zhen Xian. "Fellow Taoist Jiang, the immortal stones are here." After receiving the immortal stones, Jiang Chongkong took out the instrument. "All of them are here. Choose one." The 4 blurry figures each took one and disappeared. Venerable Zhen Xian took the rest and left with Jiang Chongkong. "I will contact you in 3 days." Jiang Chongkong nodded and returned to the temple to cultivate in seclusion. The matter of Mount Buzhou was reported again. Sun Li and the others had already begun to explore it. As for the Khanate Spirit Stone Mine, the 2 celestial sects were helping to excavate it. The major forces of the Heaven Realm had only just climbed up Mount Buzhou to explore. They didn't know how long it would take to find the treasure map. Jiang Chongkong manifested with his divine power, and they explored the situation of Mount Buzhou. 2 days passed in a flash. Sun Li returned with a solemn expression. "Alliance Master." Sun Li returned but didn't speak directly. Instead, he looked outside the door. Jiang Chongkong set up a divine power barrier. An item appeared on Mount Buzhou. "We can't take it, so we came back to ask for help." Sun Li said in a low voice, "It's a small tree. It's very strange. We can't destroy it no matter what, but it doesn't fight back. We can't pull it out." What does the small tree look like? Jiang Changkong asked. There are 12 small people on it. They have a very strange shape, Sun Li said, and used his divine power to transform the small tree. The 12 small people were hanging on the tree. All of them were strange creatures. Jiang Changkong's expression changed drastically. One of them had a human body and a snake's tail. It had 7 hands on its back and 2 hands in front of its chest. Hotu. It had a bird head and a human body riding 2 dragons. It was the ancestor of wood sorcery, Zhu Mang. It had a human head and a dragon's body, and was completely red. It was the ancestor of time sorcery, Candle Dragon. It was like a yellow sack and was as red as alchemic fire. It had 6 legs and 4 wings. The 12 small people were the 12 ancestor sorcerers. Alliance Master, what should we do now? Sun Li asked respectfully. Jiang Changkong frowned. The 12 ancestor sorcerer trees? How could such a strange thing appear on Mount Buzhou? After thinking for a moment, he released the power of reincarnation and his immortal blood. Take these 2 things and try them. His Tao body and the 7 revolutions mysterious art should work with the power of reincarnation, right? He could only try. Speaking of which, he had nothing to do with the 12 ancestor sorcerers. He had only obtained the opportunity that Hotu had left behind. Yes. Sun Li took the items and turned to leave. Don't tell anyone about this. You must keep it a secret, including Zhenyuan, Peng Lai, the demon race and the ghost race, Jiang Changkong warned him. I understand. Sun Li took the order and left. Jiang Changkong closed his eyes. Something strange had happened on Demon Emperor's side. Fiend Monarch, this subordinate discovered a huge boulder at Buzhou Mountain. There are 10 fiend commanders inside, and they seem to be sealed. Sun Wuxing said respectfully. The 10 demon marshals? Demon Emperor's eyes narrowed. Why would these dead demons appear on Mount Buzhou? And why are they sealed? The 12 ancestor sorcerers on the tree, and the 10 demon marshals on the rock. All of them should have died in the primordial era. Could it be that the ancient immortals had resurrected them? No, if they were resurrected, how would Hotu be explained? Hotu wasn't dead and had already left. He shouldn't have appeared. Sun Wuxuan scratched his head. Little monkey, you have to look carefully. Is there heaven's equal? Elder Wuxuan, we didn't find anything related to heaven's equal, Sun Wuxing said respectfully. We can't retrieve that rock. Please forgive us, Demon Emperor. It's fine. You naturally can't retrieve something left behind by the ancient saint. Demon Emperor's eyes narrowed. Have someone guard the rock and see if there's anything special about it. The rest of you, continue exploring Mount Buzhou and find the treasure map as soon as possible. Yes. Sun Wuxing retreated. Sun Wuxuan's eyes flashed as he looked in the direction of Mount Buzhou. Demon Emperor shook his head. There was no point in being anxious. They couldn't go in. Buzhou Divine Mountain. Could he reach the peak of Buzhou Divine Mountain from the chaos and see what was inside? He didn't know if he could use the reincarnation disc to block the power of Mount Buzhou.